a man cave for an elderly gentleman client. He's 85, and in this small space, he had some hazards and some organizing disarray.
Too much stuff basically, but he's 85. He wants to keep it all. So there is piles of papers. You see all of his musical instruments there. He doesn't really play them anymore, but he doesn't want to get rid of them. His things on the walls, bed unmade, unkept because it's very hard. He has to clean the things off the bed to get in bed, and then that goes in the chair, and then he has to clean it out of the chair to put on the bed so he can sit in his chair. Bookcase here full of books and papers. He has a hard time making decisions about paperwork to keep and what to get rid of. Lots of junk mail there, but each one maybe has a small note on it. Has a great closet, and he does have really good storage, but obviously he's not able to get up to the top. Someone has to help him with that. So we will not be using those to things he can't reach to put things.
The biggest thing about this space was he was very anxious about what we might throw away. So it was more organizing than it was decluttering, making this room functional for him. You see shoes in the floor as far as other things in the floor, making tripping hazards. He had a desk chair that couldn't be shoved under the desk, therefore, the chair was out in the middle of the room. He has stuff everywhere, a surface abuser, I guess you would say. He had beautiful built in cabinets that we utilized somewhat, but he had a big screen TV on this wall and then continued collections,
Lots of books,
more
uh,
shoes.
more shoes, basket back underneath there. Every space that he could put something, he did because he has so much, and it is a small room. I think it's only 10 by 10. He has a large collection of hats, and there you see some of them. A lot of times they're falling off on the floor, which is again a tripping hazard for him. Things hanging on the back of the door, so you're not able to open the door completely, which makes it less space for him to get in and out.
So we decided to start by clearing off his chair, putting those things on the bed to get the chair out of the middle of the room.
Made a big difference because there was just no space for two people in that chair. So, again, we are talking about a very small room with a lot of things.
So I started really by cleaning off his desk, and then we would decide what to put back on. Lots of old receipts, some change, different
A
collections.
lot of guitar picks we found
Yeah.
going through here, hence the guitars on the wall, the picks all over the place. We got that taken care of, and we were really blessed. It was a beautiful day, and we were able to have the window open and beautiful breeze.
We wanted to make this desk functional. This is where he does Bible study and other studies, so we wanted to make this space functional for him.
And it was quite challenging to say the least, but we will show you the end product, and it turned out very, very well.
We took the opportunity here to clean the desk really well, use some glass cleaner. I was putting books that were on his desk into his gorgeous built in cabinets, which cleared off a lot more room on his desk.
He had a ton of books. Well, he still has a ton of books. He kept most of them. We were able to declutter some, but this is just getting things cleaned up and organized on that desk, putting some things back, trying to make it very easy for him, plus giving him some space to leave out pencils and pens and additional books as he is using this space on a daily basis. But he gets to start fresh, and that's a good thing for him right now.
We didn't throw away a thing except for obvious trash, wrappers, and such.
We are still working on his desk. That shows you, kind of tells you what kind of a mess it was. But there was lots to do, and we did want to let you know that it is a process, especially when you're not decluttering as we would have decided to declutter. We were trying to keep and organize as much as he wanted. It's not always as simple for some people to let go of their things, as I think we talked on briefly before, that even a phone number or a note on a junk mail envelope was somewhat of a treasure for him, and that can make things very difficult for those of us who want it to be really nice.
We also saved the trash so he could go through it and make sure we didn't throw away something we didn't realize was important to him. So we wanted him to be reassured that we weren't just going through his stuff and throwing it away.
And it meant a lot to him. He really appreciated it.
Now we've moved on to this side, away from the desk a little bit. Underneath his television, he had some electronics and some other collections, some little things made by other people that were important to him. So we were very careful with that. But what we went ahead and did was cleared off this one shelf because we knew it was coming out. We were going to move some things around and bring in two smaller shelving units for him.
And that gave him more room to walk in the door. It wasn't as deep from the wall, which is a better safety feature for him. And this square metal rack thing was very wobbly and unsafe. If he would have stumbled and grabbed a hold of that, could have really fallen and hurt himself. And the top of that, the very top shelf, was glass. So it's better that it's taken out of there and he won't have to worry about bumping it, electronics falling, and him hurting himself.
So here we got the table out and I'm vacuuming. Always take advantage of the open space to clean it. He couldn't believe how clean his carpet was when we were finished.
He was planning on calling a carpet cleaner to have that done after we were finished, but just a good vacuum really made a difference for him.
So I went ahead and did the whole floor that was clean and then moved the electronics around, tried to clean that up. We were trying not to unplug anything, but that kind of didn't work. But he still had a tote there in the floor. So I moved that out of the way, put it on the bed so we could have more access to floor space. That was my goal for this client, was open floor space.
And it was much needed because, again, we talked, he's 85 years old and tripping hazard is very real. And a trip and a break can end a person's life. We all, I'm sure, have experienced that. But the good vacuum and the window open and the fresh air and just gathering a bunch of things up. So here's more of the room and more of my behind, basically. The bed, which we have piled high with things, trying to get the door open wider, trying to find places to move things. We actually moved a bookcase from one side of the room to another and had to clean that off and remove some shelves and things with that. But again, Chrissy's still vacuuming the carpet and much appreciated. I'm sure he really enjoyed the clean floor.
Now we're starting on the closet, which was like a whole nother job. We were putting things decoratively on this box, which ended up being a drum, and he didn't want anything on there, which we understood. So we ended up moving all of that. But you can get a good look at the closet there.
Has a lot of shelves in it.
Here, I'm just trying to refold his t-shirts. They were just kind of thrown in there. So I tried to fold them in a way that would be space saving for him. Um, yeah, he had a lot of t-shirts.
Yes, he did. And even trying to organize them Marie Kondo style, it was still difficult to get them in there. But he is, again, we talked before, he's not willing to let things go, especially his t shirts. He's very proud of his t shirt collection.
Working on the other side, I was just making sure the doors open and closed. We didn't do a whole lot to the other side or the upper cabinets. We just did his t-shirts. Here's our final result. He was very, very happy. We had moved this cabinet from the other side of the room, which gave him more room. The finished product on that beautiful desk. He had plenty of room to do his studies and to just look out the window. Here are his instruments, his bed. Very, very safe. There were not things on the floor, and he was very, very happy.